Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. Kisumu is also fantastic. Maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you this particular question. Assuming Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga were the people or individuals pushing for this finance bill, what kind of response do you think William Ruto would be giving them? Or what kind of campaign would William Ruto and his brigades be telling their supporters on the ground? If BBI was bad, I can tell you that the finance bill is worse than BBI. But William Ruto is pushing it. And yesterday, none other than Miguna Miguna offered unsolicited advice to William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza. And the reaction from Kenya Kwanza on Miguna Miguna's unsolicited advice tells you that William Ruto is actually determined to have the finance bill sail through. In this particular video, I want us to go through the unsolicited advice by Miguna Miguna, because that advice is actually shaking Kenya Kwanza. Before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is now. Without any further ado, let us dive into this unsolicited advice by Miguna Miguna. And as a matter of fact, Miguna Miguna again earlier today made some tweet in which he was now trying to explain that he really doesn't oppose the finance bill, because you know Miguna Miguna is projected to be appointed the next director of public prosecution. If that will not happen, I don't know what will happen to Miguna Miguna. But let us dive into this unsolicited advice by Miguna Miguna. I want to go verbatim, because what Miguna Miguna posted here, nobody in UDA can do. Remember, the members of parliament who are opposed to William Ruto's finance bill are receiving phone calls, and some of them are being warned. As a matter of fact, as we speak, I think there's 2 members of parliament from the mountain who have been threatened over this particular issue. And remember, Seth Panyako, who also resigned yesterday, the other day, revealed that William Ruto actually placed a phone call to him and forced him to resign because he was opposed to this particular finance bill. Now, let us go back through Miguna Miguna. This is what Miguna Miguna posted. My unsolicited advice to Kenya Kwanza, President William Ruto, and Deputy President Rigathi. Of course, when he's addressing Ruto and Rigathi, he's using kind words, unlike when he's using addressing Uhuru and Raila. Previously, he would use some unkind words to Ruto, which means he has embraced William Ruto. Now he's saying, pull back, listen to Kenya, to Kenyans. Generally, what Miguna Miguna is trying to tell Ruto is that this particular bill is bad, and therefore they should pull back and listen to what Kenyans are trying to say. If you've gone through that bill, then you'll be surprised that if you have a car, every month you'll be paying 500 to the government, if it's a 5-seater. If it's a 7-seater, you just have your van for family going to church, every month you'll be paying government 700. Very sad. If you are a member of Chama, the government will start taxing you. Remember, these chamas, the way they operate is that I contribute 500, Bob, you contribute 500, we bring them together. Next month we do the same, you don't even do business with it, you just save. The government will start taxing that. It's a bad thing. So Miguna Miguna is reminding these people, please listen to Kenyans. For me, on that I agree with Miguna Miguna. And it's telling them, withdraw the finance bill 2023. I don't think William Ruto is willing to withdraw this finance bill, because based on William Ruto's reaction and his team, I strongly believe that there is something they want in this bill. Either they want the money so that the money can be stolen to fund their 2027 campaigns, or they want this money to initiate serious development projects in the first term, then they will withdraw them later. But William Ruto is keen on this finance bill. So Miguna, that's not going to happen. Nobody is going to withdraw this bill. And Miguna is proceeding, postpone the implementation of the housing levy. Now, how can William Ruto postpone the housing levy when that is the main thing he wants? He can't postpone it. Because look at it. If every individual in this country will contribute 3%, and it's capped at 2,500, let's say the maximum, 2,500. So you contribute 2,500, your employer contributes 2,500. So it means per individual, these guys will be getting 5,000. That's a lot of money. If you have, let's say, 2 million workers only, that's a lot of money. So William Ruto cannot withdraw this. We're gonna stop. Then return to the drawing board. I only know that the only thing William Ruto can do is to make a few amendments. You know, there are very bad things in this bill. But the main thing Kenyans are focusing on is the housing levy, which is not even the worst one. So Miguna is now telling Ruto that hire new independent and truthful advisors. Ruto is the advisor himself. I don't think he will hire new advisors. He will continue with these ones because these ones are serving his interest. So probably Miguna believes that Ruto has people who are not independent as advisors and they are cheating him. That's the polite way of telling someone that these guys are cheating you, is to tell them hire new, truthful advisors. And he's saying, reshuffle your communication team and hire 2 or 3 fresh faces. So basically, from what Miguna is suggesting is that William Ruto is losing as far as communications strategy is concerned. He might be losing, but is Azimio working on their communication strategy? Azimio's communication strategy is the worst. It's the worst. And that's why I began this video by asking you guys that, assuming it was Ruto who was opposing this particular bill, how would be Sundays in church? How would be the villages? Raila and your crew, you are letting Kenyans down big time. Suspend maneno ya mandamano, suspend everything, highlight this bill. Unless you are smart, Raila and the group, let this thing pass. Then promise Kenyans that you are going to withdraw it in 2027. Kenyans will feel the pinch. And it's also saying that don't rely on yes men and yes women. So Miguna is part of William Ruto's team. He knows the people Ruto listens to. So basically, Miguna is telling Ruto that the people you listen to are yes, they can't tell you what is wrong. And he's telling Ruto very interestingly, don't be defensive. Don't argue with the people. You know, Miguna believes that people are telling Ruto, stop this thing. But Ruto is not listening. And very interesting. So he's also telling Ruto, and this is why Miguna is not going to survive in this government. Stop entrenching the perception that you are only hiring exclusively from 2 ethnic groups. You know, he's now deviated from the original post, which was on the finance bill, and is now telling Ruto about hiring from 2 ethnic groups, which means even Miguna believes that Ruto is actually hiring Kalenjins and Kikuyus only. Because of this, if Miguna was to be appointed the Director of Public Prosecution, the son of Nyando should forget. Or what advice would you give Miguna? He's also telling Ruto this: stop hiring and recycling incompetent failures and graft-riddled conmen. You know, there's a perception in this country that William Ruto is actually hiring people who are corrupt. William Ruto is hiring conmen. William Ruto is hiring incompetent people. Just like I was explaining to you guys over there, that particular matter of NSSF, where the former LAPSET boss was supposed to be appointed. It happened. They conducted interviews on Wednesday last week. Koros guy who is facing serious corruption allegation at Lapset, emerged the winner. If you saw the daily business daily, it was clear that even the way the marks were allocated, some people were under instructions to ensure the gentleman goes through. And this is what Miguna Miguna is trying to tell them, that conmen. Now listen to what he's telling Ruto, that the reckless talk about two shareholders in a country of 50 million people is a political suicide. So I can easily predict that Miguna Miguna's stay in Kenya Kwanza is on borrowed time. Anytime from now, Miguna Miguna will be out of Kenya Kwanza. I'll be waiting to see, because I don't think Azimio will embrace him. And he's telling Ruto, and this is also very, very important, that Mwai Kibaki was elected with 68% of votes, but was defeated in a referendum 2 years later. This is what is going to happen to Ruto. Ruto is going to be defeated. Basically, he's reminding Ruto that Kibaki won with 68%. Ruto won with some questionable 200,000 votes. Questionable. 50 plus some percentage. Questionable. He's reminding him 2 years later, despite the fact that he had 68%, he lost a referendum. And importantly, he's telling Ruto that Raila Odinga is gaining popularity because many of senior government officials you have appointed are failing to engage Kenyans in a transparent, respectful, and accountable manner. So basically, Miguna Miguna has delivered a message to Ruto, so it will be upon Ruto to decide to take it. And he's telling him, urgently address the issue of high cost of living, corruption, and tribalism. When you talk of high cost of living, this is one of the conditions which Azimio placed on the table over the bipartisan talks. So basically, Miguna Miguna is now agreeing with Azimio that the cost of living in the country is actually up there. And he is concluding that we must stop the downward spiral and steady the ship. So basically, if you listen to Miguna Miguna, he's telling Ruto that this ship we are in is actually coming down. We were up there, it's coming down. So we must try and steady it. And he's saying the time is now. What advice can you give to Miguna Miguna after this particular post? For me, Miguna Miguna's days in Kenya Kwanza are numbered, and it's just a matter of time. Miguna Miguna will be kicked out of Kenya Kwanza anytime from now. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.